All I'm saying is that at level 2, someone does 100 damage on me, I'm quitting the game. The game's over, you won. You wanted to talk about the Sor'Lock build, right?
Yeah.
No,
So
this isn't the normal Sor'Lock. This is your own Sor'Lock. What'd you have for it?
all right. So obviously we're gonna go with Goliath, and we'll probably have to make a video on that later. That race by itself, but
Serves a video, yeah.
oh my,
Yeah, I know.
a Sorc Burst, Warlock. Starting at level 1, we're gonna take that Pact of the Tomb and pick up a Sorcerous Burst and make it a Warlock spell, so that at level 2 we can then turn that into an antagonizing blast, and of course eventually picking up repelling blast and eldritch blast. But where the build really picks up is when you go into sorcerer and you gain the ability to not only re-roll the damage die for a chance to roll more d8s, but you also can add the Dragonborn's charisma modifier to the damage. So on top of adding the warlocks with antagonizing blast, you can add the sorcerers. And if you go with the celestial patron at 6 and you choose fire as your type of damage for your Sorc Burst, as well as the make fire your primary for the dragon sorcerer, you can add that charisma again. So with quicken spell on each turn, you get a static 30 plus damage before rolling any dice.
God, I hate the Draconic Sorcerer.
Yeah, later levels in the game, you're looking at, actually, because I did the math on that wrong the first time that we were talking about it, Crim, you're actually closer to 200 damage if you can maximize those dice rolls. Now that's the maximum, but you're still going to have a lot of chances to do that because, again, sorcerers get the reroll damage, right? And you're going to gain from the celestials the ability to just undercut resistances.
Oh, that's even great too, because even with the lucky feat and the musician getting and the humans getting the heroic inspirations, you have more of a chance to get those lucky dice rolls to keep it going too.
Yep. And with the Goliaths, you're going to get 2 additional D10s. You have, depending on what level, anywhere from 2 to 3 D8s per use of the spell. And with quicken spell, you're going to double that, and not including potential crits, and of course a static 15 damage. If you wish to use something like Hex, you're going to add even more D6. So it's really, really, really powerful. I think that it has potential to compete with Eldritch Blast, but is slightly less consistent. Like Eldritch Blast, you're going to have more consistency. This is going to give you, it's a gambler's build, essentially.
Oh, we love gambling. That's even made worse with the Draconic Sorcerer and the Goliath Fire thing. They both combo each other as well, just making this whole thing just stronger.
Yep, it is very, very much in the realm of a power build. It is strong.
It's strong, and like you said, even if you don't want to take the gamble, you still have Eldritch Blast to fall back on. But this is just one aspect. This is just one thing you can do with it. If you're doing Sorcerer Warlock like this, you also have the opportunity.
Sounds strong.
Yeah, it does actually. Like something could be with Eldritch Blast spam. It's a gambling blast spam, and like even if nothing else, right? It's a D8 versus a D10. The lack of damage isn't 2 less damage just to start gambling isn't that much of a hit. Or no, yeah, because Eldritch Blast is a D10, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, so it's not even that much of a damage hit to do this gamble. So it's not even really, it's safe gambling, right? You're trading 2 potential damage for a safe gamble. But
it is relatively safe, and even with like the sorcerers, one of their meta magics is they can reroll a damage die, so you have more opportunities to actually just roll more d8.
So that D8, that is dumb. Not to mention if you crit with it, that means all of that gets rerolled. Even the expanded like D8, it comes 2 D8s you roll. So because you, yeah, it's just the D8 the class, and this is. And if you're doing Sorcerer Warlock, the old Coffee Lock still exists. You can do that and this. So when you're cantrip blasting, doing your nonsense, you can just have basically, well, not infinite spells, but the coffee lock was about its font of magic turning sorcery points into temporary spell slots, but spell slots last till long rest anyway. And warlock generates spell slots on short rest, so you can turn warlock spells into whatever you want.
Yeah, your traditional sorcerer warlock build, if you're going to go the Eldritch Blast route, does have some advantages. You don't have to go as deep in sorcerer. So for my version, you need to get that additional damage so that it can keep up. With the more traditional version, you don't need as much source, which frees up a lot of your your skill points to go into other things, and that can be really really useful. Like just going deeper into warlock, getting more invocations and stuff like that. You're also, if you're doing the Goliath, that's 3d10 late game for each cast for hitting something is nothing to scoff about. An additional d10. So instead of doing 3d10 on an Eldritch Blast late game, you can be doing like 6d10 per Eldritch Blast, which is a bit silly for a cantrip. And even though it has charges like with your proficiency bonus, combat's not known for lasting that long in D&D if you are unloading on the boss. It's typically only, 5 turns maximum, I believe.
I would
getting
say
good rolls. They're definitely going down relatively quick.
it really depends on the type of game you're running, because typically it's 1 or 2 combats per long rest, unless you're dungeon diving. And it really depends on the DM's, like the group's play style. Also, a note to add in about if you're doing super powerful crap like this, make sure that you're not springing at surprise on the rest of your party. You don't want to be the guy doing 30 to 100 damage early game and no one else gets to play.
It is definitely
It's a power build.
definitely something that you want to discuss with your table and your DM first. And the thing about the warlocks this go around is, with the addition of the lucky feat, and if you go into sorcerer with seeking spell, there's good chances that you're not gonna miss. Like if you miss, the gods didn't want you to play the game that turn. The dice said no.
Going into Hell's Corner.
With this kind of build, would you benefit more going to sorcerer or warlock, or kind of even split down the middle? Because I know this book, the 2024 book, really wants you to multi-class. Well, what do you think about the late game of this?
With my version, you can honestly take it straight down the middle. It would work perfectly fine as long as you get to that 6 in Sorc, and then that 6 in Warlock, and whatever you do after that is pretty much your choice. I think level 10 in Warlock for an extra invocation to get all 4 is the best route. So it'd be like 10 and 6, but in general, you just need to get your Agonizing Blast and your Pact of the Tomb, and then you're good to go there. And for sorcerer, you just need your meta magics.
I was gonna say that, that's actually the beauty of it too, is that since this is a cantrip build, like it doesn't matter, cantrips level with your overall level, not your class level. So you can pretty much do whatever you want as long as you get the minimum requirements.
Yep. Minimum requirement is 2 into Warlock, and then from there on out, you kind of get to play with the sorcerer and warlocks as you see fit. Do you want, to get more sorcerer points, or do you want to gain an Eldritch Invitation to enhance what your chosen spell can do? It's very flexible, which is something that I like about builds, is just having the ability to adjust to how you want to play the game.
Yeah, and the coffee lock is available as soon as you hit level 2 in sorcerer with the font of magic. So I think warlock is only level 2. So to do all the damage, you need to hit at least 2 warlock, but then you get all the utility from coffee lock from level 2 sorcerer. So as early as level 4, I think you're already just gaming out of your mind.
I think this will be very fun to play at tables where it's welcome. I personally want to try it just because I don't like gambling, because I'm not going to risk my money, but man, I will love to gamble in a game.
Most D&D's these settings right now, combat isn't really the focus much anymore. It's all about roleplay. And this is all about a numbers build. This is basically just a numbers build.
Yep, but luckily you also have a really high charisma, so you've got that going for you as well.
Yeah, that is right. Going with both these multi-classes, I think you get an array of skills, so you're pretty good. Not to mention, like, if you get an origin feed of some sort, everything helps this build past this. Like, this is the core. but everything just adds to it.
Yep.
I think you'll definitely succeed in combat, but you'll definitely succeed out of combat in the role playing field too.
That's rough too, because I always want there to be some sort of trade, but there isn't
Yeah.
here. It's just an overall good build, power build for both social interaction and combat, which is annoying.
Yep.
As a DM,
Agreed.
I'm gonna hate that player.
I foresee this being one of the most popular builds, and Goliath being a staple for many power builds. Actually, Goliath will probably be used in every power build.
All I'm saying is that at level 2, someone does 100 damage on me, I'm quitting the game. The game's over. You won. You either re-roll that character, or you already beat the game. You won.
Congratulations, you won D&D.
Yeah, you beat this video game. It's not a video game. Don't ever do that. D&D isn't a game to build. Don't try to beat it. Alrighty. Hey, this is Crim from Awestruck bringing you a special message. And that is a big thank you for watching up to this point. We are beyond new to this, and trust me, we truly appreciate you stopping by. It's our goal to put out new content as quickly as you can, but learning how to do all this from scratch and the constraints of our personal lives and jobs and yada yada yada, it's quite rough on us. So please, if you do really like our video, hit all those buttons that support us, and even if you don't, we're just glad you stopped by. So I hope you're having a great day, and I hope we'll see you again next video. Later.